Hi, everybody. This is Paul Gerard. I'm a student loan consultant working with the American Podiatric Medical Association and the Young Physicians Institute. And this module is on the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program known as PSLF. Now, as you may know, the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program was passed into law back in 2007, and it was designed to encourage borrowers to work in the public or nonprofit sector for at least 10 years with the promise to forgive any remaining direct student loan debt absolutely tax-free at that time, simply meaning that anything forgiven does not have to be claimed as taxable income. Now, certainly borrowers have to meet certain requirements to get PSLF. We're going to look at those on the next slide. We want to be absolutely sure that you know that as a podiatrist, you can also qualify for the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. It has nothing to do with your degree or your specialty as long as you meet the requirements. Now, you may already know that since this is only for borrowers working in the nonprofit sector, many podiatrists, probably the majority of podiatrists, work in the for-profit sector, but you can qualify as a podiatrist if you meet the eligibility requirements. The first time anyone will qualify will be October of 2017. We're recording this in September of 2017, so the first borrowers will get this next month. Some of you may be listening to this at a time when borrowers have already qualified, but October 2017 is the first month anybody will get this program. We think October 2019 is really the year to watch for a huge amount of debt being forgiven for medical school graduates, and this includes podiatrists, allopathic, osteopathic medicine, and some of your other colleagues from the health sciences disciplines. And the reason for that is that when you see the eligibility requirements, one of the requirements is that you use an income-driven repayment plan. And one of the older plans, IBR, income-based repayment, started in 2009. So if you do some simple math, we think 2019 will be the first time that a number of medical school graduates qualify. There is a current proposal in the fiscal year 2018 budget by the new administration to completely eliminate the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. That has not been passed yet. That has to go through Congress. It's a lengthy process, but we do want you to know there has been a proposal to completely eliminate the program. However, in most all cases, when there's a change to a loan program, it is done for first-time borrowers. And so the feeling is that if, in fact, the program is eliminated, it would only apply to people who have never borrowed before, and those of you who already have student loans would be grandfathered into the current provisions and would still be able to qualify for the program. Certainly important to keep your radar up about changes to the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. Now, in order to qualify for the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, three things have to happen, and they have to happen at the same time. I cannot emphasize that enough. You have to make 120 timely schedule payments with an eligible plan. An eligible plan is an income-driven repayment plan. Many people refer to this as the 10-year Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. That's if the 120 payments are made consecutively. They do not have to be consecutive, but you cannot accelerate the time period to qualify. In other words, you can't make extra payments and shorten the repayment period to qualify for the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. So 120 timely scheduled payments with an eligible plan such as IBR, pay, or repay. Only direct loans qualify. Those payments have to be on eligible loans, and you have to make these payments while you're working at least 30 hours per week or full-time for an eligible public service employer. And this includes 501c3 nonprofit organizations. Many teaching hospitals for podiatry residents qualify as Public Service Loan Forgiveness employers. So 120 timely payments with an income plan on eligible loans while you're working full-time for a nonprofit employer. Now, one of the questions we get asked quite often is how you apply for the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. Well, you actually don't apply until you've made all 120 payments, but there's certainly some things you can do to start the eligibility process. First of all, be sure all of your federal loans are in the direct loan program. Now, for many of you, that's not a problem because the federal government took over all the lending of federal loans in the 2010-11 academic year. So any federal loans you've had from that date forward will be in the direct loan program. Just look at the name of your loans: Direct Unsubsidized and Direct Plus for those of you who had Grad Plus. Some of you may have some direct loans from college or even post-bac programs. But if you have any federal loans that are not in the direct loan program, as we discuss in module number 4, you can actually consolidate them into the direct loan program and basically flip the balance from a non-direct loan into a direct loan program loan. All you're doing is you're helping ensure that if you do qualify for PSLF, it's on your entire student loan portfolio. I've really never met any borrowers who don't want PSLF to apply to everything they've borrowed if they do happen to qualify. So get everything into the direct loan program and then start making payments with an income-driven repayment plan such as IBR, pay, or repay on those direct loans. Now, bullet number 3 is very important. You're not required to do this, but we highly suggest that you submit every year the PSLF employment certification form, and it goes to Fed Loan Servicing regardless of who your loan servicer is. Fed Loan Servicing is the only loan servicer under contract with the U.S. Department of Education who runs the PSLF program to do 2 very important things for borrowers interested in PSLF. Number 1, when that employment certification form gets to Fed Loan Servicing, they will confirm that your employer, including your teaching hospital if you're a resident, is a PSLF eligible employer. And if that's the case, they will take over the servicing of your student loans if you have a loan servicer other than Fed Loan Servicing, for example, Great Lakes, Nelnet, maybe Navient, and they will start tracking the payments you make towards PSLF. So once again, the employment certification form, very important that you submit it every year if you're interested in the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. Now, a few comments as we wind up this short module on the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. Once again, a reminder, your career path as a podiatrist may not be in the nonprofit sector, and that's why many podiatrists aren't going to qualify for PSLF. But what many podiatric medical residents are doing is they're trying to preserve the option to use PSLF if after residency, their career path does end up in the nonprofit sector. And the way to do that is to go ahead and start making payments while you are in residency, because there's a pretty good chance your teaching hospital will be an eligible employer. So for many of you, consider going ahead and making payments in residency if you're still in a residency program to preserve the option for using PSLF if your career path stays in the nonprofit sector. Also, although we are very hesitant not to encourage aggressive repayment, if you're trying to qualify for PSLF, the last thing you want to do is aggressively pay on your student loans. You want to make the minimum payment to help maximize how much is going to be forgiven under the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. Because think about it, if you're making minimum payments with an income-driven repayment plan and you start overpaying, you're paying down the potential forgiveness amount. So aggressive payment is not consistent with a strategy based on the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. A reminder that the forgiveness amount with PSLF is not subject to tax. It's tax-free, and also a reminder to keep your radar up about potential changes in the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. Finally, there's some resources that can help. It's studentaid.ed.gov/public service. you can get some more information on PSLF, and this is where you will find the online PDF employment certification form. Our website, pgpresents.com, always has a current statement on the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. So in addition to information you might find elsewhere, we always try to keep this current with information about the current status of the program. We've mentioned this particular calculator before from your friends at the Association of American Medical Colleges. The MedLoans Organizer and Calculator will actually let you go in and estimate the forgiveness amount under PSLF by using that calculator. So some great resources to help you if you're interested in PSLF. This is the end of module number 3.